Maybe we should be calling the American dream the Scandinavian dream. I'm Joe Stiglitz. I'm here to talk about the growing inequality and what we can do about it. America has the highest level of inequality of income of any of the other advanced countries. In the decades after World War II, we were a much more cohesive society. It was, interestingly, a period in which we grew much faster than we did since 1980. Things have become much worse in the last third of a century. We tried an experiment, strip away regulations, lowered the top tax rates. These two together would lead to faster economic growth, while those at the bottom and the middle would get a smaller share. The size of the pie would be so much greater that they would be better off. Trickle-down economics. A rising tide lifts all boats. A third of a century of that experiment, and we know the answer. The big ships, the yachts, have done very well, but the smaller boats have not. The rising tide has lifted only the 1%. Those in the middle and those in the bottom have been left behind. The same market forces, the same forces of technology and globalization are operating in the other advanced countries essentially in the same way as they are in the United States. It's not the economic forces that are driving this. It's our policies and our politics. We've made it more difficult to unionize. And so what we've done is we've increased the power of corporations and we've reduced the power of workers. Our tax system actually reinforces the inequalities. Those people at the very top pay a smaller percentage of their income in taxes than those whose income is much lower. We don't have good job training programs. We don't have good public transportation. America has become a more economically segregated society. We have rich people living with rich people, poor people living with poor people. It would pay us to invest in this pre-K, in the education of disadvantaged children. We would wind up with a more productive economy. We'd wind up with spending less on prisons. If I knew I was going to be born in the top 1% of the country, America is the country you want to be born in. Absolutely, no doubt about it. But if you are going to be born at the bottom third, it's not the place you would choose. There are many other countries where you would be much better off. Your health would be better, your exposure to environmental hazards would be lower, where your income, even your income, would be higher. Your prospects of going from the bottom third where you are to the top third would be much higher. So maybe we should be calling the American dream the Scandinavian dream, or so many other countries that realized 60, 70 years ago, they looked across the Atlantic and they saw America as a land of opportunity, and they changed. They changed their education system, they changed their social policies, they changed their legal frameworks. Meanwhile, we changed, and we changed ourselves in ways that made us into less of a land of opportunity.